Hi everyone. We're having a rare 40-degree day today. That's about 5 Celsius. So I figured I'd start my winter sowing project. So I'm gonna go get the supplies and you can come along. I like it when it snows so you can see what critters you might have in your property. So this, I believe, is created by voles. And there's a few other ones as you get closer to their den. And then the obvious deer tracks all over the place. It's quite a family that traverse through our property, which is kind of annoying. But what we're into today is getting some of the milk jugs that I've been saving from last year. And I have plenty more in the basement, but those have not been prepped yet. So I'm gonna try to get these. Winter sowing is great for starting off a lot of non-tropical perennials, ideally, but annuals for sure. And milk jugs is one of the primary containers that get used a lot, because they hold quite a bit of soil and you have like a top for protection against critters, but still allows moisture in. Very important that you make drainage holes at the bottom. Alright, I think this is enough for now. You can always get more or make more later. I'm finally getting to use up this fungus gnat infested soil, and I finally got a handle on that in my indoor plants with the hydrogen peroxide concoction. Make sure you press the soil. Don't want it to be too fluffy. And 3 inches is about a good amount of soil for your plant to live on. A lot of people tend to overdo winter sowing and then they end up with extra plants that they don't know what to do with for a while. So having that extra soil ensures that the plant will live in there until you're ready to transplant them. So this is the second season with these containers. I think I could probably get 3 seasons, so at least out of them. That's great. It's inevitably still going, hopefully, to be recycled, but you know, try to imagine that you're making a difference. Try to imagine that you're making a difference in the world. Now, I was lucky enough to have a soldering iron, so I made my holes with that. Most people use scissors or heat up a nail or screwdriver or something. Scissor slits are perfectly awesome. And the soil has been stored in the garage, so it's partially frozen. So make sure you thaw it out. Last year I had pre-filled these ahead of time, and then when I was ready to plant into them, they were blocks. So I had to wait quite a bit to thaw them out before I could put seeds in them. I think I read somewhere that 1 cubic feet of soil would fill up about 7 milk jugs or juice jugs. So use accordingly. So I only have 10 containers right now, so I'm going to be selective in the seeds I put in. I also printed out a guide on light necessity for germination. I printed this out last year, so I don't know where I got it from, but there's a lot of information, free information out there. Just gotta put in the research. So according to this, and obviously also the back of the seed packet, but not all seed packets are created equal. Some have very little information on them. But nasturtium, large seeds, forage, and the white cypress vine, these have larger seeds. They like to be buried deeper. They need to germinate in the dark. So those I'm going to put in. So that's 3 there. And then, which one was it? Yeah. Medium, no, this is a quarter inch depth, which isn't that deep. But I've got night scented stock, Johnny Jump Up, calendula. I really want to get a lot of that going. Cosmos, I know will self-seed from what I've already had from last year. Also, I'm not sure. I planted these last year. I don't know if they'll self-seed by themselves. And this is a new one, the Celosia, Pompous Bloom. So I definitely want to do the Celosia, the calendula. That makes what, 5. Cosmos. I want to try the purple Cosmos because I have the like, this is the one I grew last year, this color. So I'm going to do the purple, and I'll hold off on the other 2, 3. And these are surface sown, so you just press them into the soil. This I planted last year. And then the Snapdragon's a new one. I really want to do that one. And a Scabiosa, definitely want to do that one. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, perfect. So I want to do the Nicotiana again because I like that the hummingbirds like it. And we'll do the night scented stock since it's supposed to be aromatic. I want that. These remind me of pansies, right? That's what they are. Alright, so these I can just put in the ground at any point during the spring or summer, and they'll come up as I've experienced last year. So I'm not too worried about planting more of that. Alright, let's go outside. Now do not go dumping your whole seed packet into any of these. You will regret it. Depending on the size of the seed, the size of the seedling, once it's up, you want to give them a little space. So 5 to 9 is a good estimate for most plants. The nasturtium seeds are quite large, almost the size of a bean or a pea. So I'd say 5. I would plant 5 of this. And these are the ones that need darkness. So these are getting planted deeply. Forage. It self-seeds easily. The chickens like it. And the bees like it too. And the white cypress vine is about the same size as the borage. Now these flowers I'm planting pretty typically how you would plant these. I will have a different procedure for my annuals, because getting this out later on, it's called hunk of seeds, I think, hunk of seedling. where you're basically like chopping this up into quadrants, and I feel like it's really disruptive to the soil. Now these perennials are hardy, so I feel like that's okay for them, but certain things like the annuals, I will take certain other measures to that so that I'm not disturbing the roots too much. So some people have wind issues. I from time to time will get quite the gusts, and while these are heavy enough for here to keep these from flying around, I have this like old broom handle that I'm using to keep these together, and I also have a bamboo cane for the other one. Now to seal these, you can either duct tape, which is what I did last year. I find that really messy and extra resources I'm wasting. So I like the tucking in method. You just, well, since these are all attached, I'll have to do this in a minute. So tucking it in, some people put little holes and do some kind of zip tie or paper clip situation. Whatever works for you. You could just use one tape and just cover, one piece. You're not trying to cover up the sides. It's okay that that's open. You want moisture to get in there and then heat later on to escape. And these are so very tiny. Can you even see that? So that I would definitely just, that's not that many seeds. It's 20 or so. That I would just sprinkle. So that one I sprinkled and roughed up the soil. Another way would be to put it on top and cover it with either perlite or vermiculite, whatever you have on hand, or maybe even sand, some people have done. Cosmos. Don't be surprised if your seed packets have slightly less seeds this year like they did last year. There's hardly. So this is Cosmos. They're long, thin seeds. I'll just do half of this because like I said, you can plant this like midsummer and still get flowers before the fall comes in. And calendula, I really at some point want to get like a whole grove of this so I can make something versus just enjoying it for its beauty. So these are a little bit weird. They're these like almost the flower, like a dried up flower, and the seeds are in there. So it's really hard to say. Like they're really big when they're in this form, but the seed itself is not super big. Let's see. I would do maybe 9. And then 8. So I did about 8 in there. Alright, now we're down to the super tiny surface zone seeds. The lid to this broke off, so I'll get that sorted out. Labeling. It's very important. Good thing I have this video because I forgot to do the labels already. You can either write them on there, but they will fade. People use China markers, which is I guess an oil-based charcoal or something. Paint. There's UV pens. I prefer the popsicle stick and pencil. That works for me, so that's what I'll be doing. So So these are surface sown. Just tamp it into the soil. So these are tiny, tiny. So when it's tiny like this, you do, 20 seeds. No problem. So these are the ones that do well with the hunk of seeds method, where you just break them apart into big chunks and transplant them like that. And they don't mind that at all. Like dust. Particles of sand almost. How tiny they are. This is from last year, so I only have half of the container. The snapdragon seed's new to me, so I don't know what it looks like. Tiny as well. Typical tiny size. So I'm using about half the packet in these cases. And you will end up with plants like on the outer edge. They'll be fine. And last, Scabiosa. I really had a lot of orange and yellow flowers last year, so I really wanted to go with the deeper reds and purples this year. Oh, there's not that much seed in there. Let's see, 50 seeds it says. Well, I only have one package, so I'll do another round later. I'll just do half right now. So here's the bamboo cane to hold these down. Since watering these would cause them to pool maybe in a certain spot, it's a good idea to either pre-moisten the soil, or luckily enough for us, we have lots of snow on the ground. So I'm just gonna collect some and use free water. Okay. Got my popsicle sticks. I numbered them too, just in case. Voila. Okay, well done. This is round one. I don't have too many flowers left, but I do have lots of veggies I'm going to try this with. So if you're a little bored this winter and want to try something new and start up on some gardening, I suggest you try winter sowing. It's a lot of fun. There's many ways to do it. Try out Facebook. There's a great group called Winter Sowers. The admin is, I believe, like one of the founders of the idea. So check her out. She's also from New York, actually. There's still a lot of winter left, but we'll be starting seeds indoors. Very exciting. I got a new light to show you guys. And the lettuce experiment I started, it's been over a month. Obviously it takes that long for lettuce, so that's coming up nicely. I'm excited to show you that. But otherwise, I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll be talking to you all soon.